The Broncos and Bills team preview edition of the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code BOMBS. And now, with that,
bring me everyone. What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! You're a crumb creep. I want to fight you. You don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera. You're a creep. I am not a fucking loser!
I'm Lou Holtz, and you're listening to the Man and the Box and the Bottom Line Bombast. Good luck to you.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, the Laddie Daddy, the Bet Detective. Wrong song. That's Scumbag Advance song. This is the Bet Detective. Wrong song, C Generates. Also known as CJ Sullivan, the Man in the Box. We're coming at you live Monday, August 18th from Eagle Rock, California. You're listening to it whenever the hell you listen to it. On your cars and your iPod Nanos. Your shuffles. Maybe you're on a hike. Maybe you might see generous like to go hiking and listen to analysis about the Broncos and the Bills, which we will be having today. We have two guests today. Returning Denver Bronco guest Eric Acosta. He is in the bullpen right now. I see him taking a break. He's in between writing breaks with Elon Musk. I'll ask him about that. Then we have Big Fun Kev calling in later on for the Buffalo. He's literally on the road coming back from Rochester. Well, I had a personal thing out there. Well, we'll break. No need to break about that. There was a good weekend. NFL preseason is in full force. I heard they had a couple bad beats. So now you know we're back. It's hard to call them bad beats when it's preseason, when they just literally throw all caution to the wind. All caution to the wind. Although the Broncos, they were up 24-7 at halftime, 31 points. Had the over 35, and they scored 3 points in the second half. And they fumbled going into the end zone. But that's Sean Payton for you. He lies. No, we're not going to play any starters, I swear. Why are you lying, Sean Payton? Sean Payton just loves to lie. No, we're not going to play anybody. Isn't Evan Ingram your starter? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, not on my depth chart. Anyway, Dylan Gabriel redeemed himself, although he did throw that pick six. Then he had that quote afterwards. They say, we know the difference between entertainers and athletes. And then Twitter tried to make it against Shedeur Sanders, which is hilarious. They're like, yeah, I know the difference between entertainers and athletes. Oh, he's taking a dig at Shedeur, his own teammate. Then they show the full context of the interview. And they asked him, and he's like, no, the whole team. I think he mentioned Shedeur. Me and Shedeur say we know the difference between entertainers and athletes. He's talking about the media. So they show the full context of it. And then this is what makes Twitter so great. Then in the comments, the Twitter guy goes, I still think it's a shot at Shedeur. I don't care. That's the thing. They don't care. Here's evidence that it's not that. I don't care. I already made up my mind. So that's that. He ripped on his own teammate. Called him an entertainer. And then, of course, the media, a.k.a. Stephen A. Smith, responds today saying how stupid it was and goes on this whole, quote-unquote, entertaining rant about it. Yeah, you're proving his point. But anyway, we're proving those points. Anyway, let's get to this because I know we have a hard, not so hard out, but we want to bring in Acosta and talk some Denver Broncos. But, of course, Sports Gambling Podcast is giving away $1,000 circa NFL future bet. Got to tell you about that. With their phrase that pays. You can submit your phrase now at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/phrase. That's interesting. Can I get an $1,000 bet? I'd like to. Anyway, let's bring in Eric Acosta and told me to switch my thing. Let's talk some Denver. There he is. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Good. Looking good out there. You got a nice camera.
Oh, well, that's because it's the wife's. So.
That's great, Kathy. Because you're not buried away in the office like you were last time.
Right.
That we brought up Denver Broncos. How we doing?
We're good. Thanks for having me on your bombast.
Yep.
Be on it.
And you of course part of the CCFL. That was a Lou Holtz gift to everyone, and it was what a gift we got. I got the Lou Holtz cameo, and we almost got his last live recording ever, as he
and people that they're productive.
No need to go back and reshoot it. Let's just put it out there. Lug came out, fired Lou Holtz, and
as we established, I think one thing he doesn't have is time. So he had no time to redo it.
Right.
He does not have time.
So bringing in our Denver Bronco affiliate. I used the same pictures last year. I love that picture. You still in that fantasy league, the John Elway fantasy league there?
No, I'm actually just down to just our league now. I'm no longer in that one. Yeah.
That's a sign of adulthood and growth. When you start shaving off fantasy leagues, they're like, all right, I don't even know how I know these guys anymore, but I just keep auto renewing. All right. So you have to shave it down to like,
it's kind of like in the old days when you would either fill up your gas tank or set your alarm. Like if you miss the time to like back out of it, you have to wait next year. You got to wait next year.
Wait the full year. All right. Well, let's get into it. Bronco fan, White Sox fan, of course. How do we feel about these? First of all, let's talk about these Denver Broncos. Great year last year. Let me bring up my stats here. They went 10-8 if you include the playoffs, 12-6 against the spread. Well over their over. Bo Nix actually turned out to be something shocking. That was like at first, like, oh, well, I guess he is, but they made the playoffs.
Yes.
Lost to the Bills. Now, Sean Payton said if they just would have squeaked by the Bills, they said no doubt they would have beat the Chiefs. Not afraid of the Chiefs. So,
I think everyone would make that. That would have clear path right to the Super Bowl right there.
I think they all said that after the Super Bowl. Oh, we could have beat this fucking team. What they didn't even try. One thing about the Broncos, they were 1-6 against playoff teams though. But
that one,
that one was the Chiefs week 18 when they rested all their starters. But it was still a great one. That's why they're not afraid. But of course they lost that tough one in Kansas City. That's when Kansas City was just winning all those insane games by like block field goals and like they would convince you to turn it over. But they returned 20 starters this year. Sean Payton makes $18 million a year. That's insane.
He's the best player on the team.
He is famous. They bring back Vance Joseph, a D coordinator.
They brought in Greenlaw and Hufanga from the Niners.
They did. Mm-hmm. Very healthy guys. How are they looking so far? I mean, but they're great. Both players. They're both obviously injured, but I actually like Greenlaw to play comeback player of the year because anyone who has those injuries that are like so. Like your Tim Crumry Super Bowl injuries, the ones that everyone sees, like good God, and they just ripped his Achilles at halftime, and then the Niners lost the Super Bowl. They can blame that. And he got in a fight with Big Dom at one point. But Denver's defense is so good, I think they're going to reward it. I took a stab at Greenlaw at I think it's 75-1 for comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I could see it. I think he's probably as awful as the injury is. He's probably healthier than Hufanga is, probably.
Yes, for sure. Hufanga, and who is good. It's just weird, those awards they randomly give out. Like Patrick Surtain won Defensive Player of the Year for some reason. And they were like, it was like midway through the season, like, what, why don't we just give it to Patrick Surtain? We haven't given it to a cornerback in a while. Let's just pick one. Does it have to matter? Does he have a lot of interceptions? No, not really. But, he's out there, and I guess they don't throw at him.
Yeah, when they see a team like statistically, like, well, this team is really, really a good defensive team. I think they just throw a dart, like someone, like okay,
yeah, right, exactly. That's what I mean. We just pick someone out of there, throw a dart, and we'll give it to them. So let's see. All right, so the Broncos 10-8 last year. Like I said, they went down. They were 1-6 in one-score games, although 3 of them were which means it should regress towards better for Denver. But 3 of those are Bo Nix did do a lot of garbage time points. Like he would make 3-score games, 1-score games real fun, like real quick at the end. Like, like, oh, I guess they did only lose by 6. You're right. I forgot. I turned it off. Yeah. I didn't know what was Bo Nix doing.
I mean, it's entirely possible that we have just witnessed Bo Nix's best statistical year ever. Very possible.
Yeah. I mean, he had 33 touchdowns, 3,700 yards. He obviously would have won Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for Jaden Daniels. Right. He was great. He started off slow, but their offensive line is amazing. They have Garrett Bowles, Mike McKinley. They rate top 3, and their defense is obviously incredible. The only question marks, I mean, I like Cortland Sutton, obviously, but he's just, he's not as flashy. He's kind of like
he's no one's looking at him as a wide receiver 1, really. Right.
But he is, though. If he had 8 touchdowns and 180 yards, it's just like, I guess. Like, I guess those numbers count. I guess we'll have to count them,
For professional football, sure, he's a wide receiver 1. But for fantasy, you don't want
right. Brought in a whole new backfield. They finally realized Javonte Williams is not a thing. So they got rid of that. So I applaud them for that.
They did not tell the Cowboys that, though.
No. What are they doing? They're hilarious. When you're battling him and Miles Sanders and they're battling, it's so funny.
It's the year of RJ Harvey.
Let's talk RJ Harvey. Now he's a 25-1 Rookie of the Year candidate. You never know, though, with Sean Payton. He likes rotating those running backs so much. And they brought in J.K. Dobbins, another healthy guy.
Well, that's the thing. Like you pointed it out. Like, Sean Payton is a liar.
Yes. Right.
He can't trust what he says. So he was talking up R.J. Harvey. They drafted him in the 2nd round. He's talking about even though he was not projected to be the first running back take. Right. Giante was the first one, but they just like Bo Nix. Sean Payton will tell you that was the guy. That was the
guy we wanted.
What the guy we wanted. He was saying that while he was signing J.K. Dobbins. And if you listen to, you can't listen to, especially when he talks about Evan Ingram. I don't listen to a word Sean Payton says because Sean Payton told me that Kobe Fleener was going to be a great type.
He was going to be the Joker. They love talking about the Sean Payton Joker position. Oh, and if he get that valuable Joker position, you get those Alvin Kamara numbers. Well, he's not Alvin Kamara. He has to be Alvin Kamara in order to get those numbers. That's the one thing. Like he's Evan Ingram. I've seen Evan Ingram play. Yeah, he's very athletic. But I've also seen him play football for his career, and he's not going to put up those kind of numbers. He looked good in that preseason game. He'll be fine. And I like RJ Harvey. I like those guys.
Nice safety valve for Bo Nix. Honestly, I think this team, I'm not going to say they'll regress, but I think people are going to be surprised that they don't take a giant step up. They'll probably, I could see him winning 10 again, just kind of staying right there. I think Bo Nix, to me, is like an Alex Smith, which is good. It's fine.
Right.
But I think people are talking about him in a way that's a little bit too much right now. Look, Sean Payton's system, that's really what is happening here. And if you need proof, all you need to know is that this season people keep talking about how good Jared Stidham is.
I know.
That should tell you something right there. Then they took him out in that Bills game, and they put in the 3rd stringer, that Sam Ellinger from the and he lit it up too. So
Sam Ellinger,
kind of need it's the line, it's the system. I think that's a lot of what's going on with the Broncos.
So you're not a full Bo Lever then?
I think like I said, Alex Smith, I'm not going to complain about having an Alex Smith. I think especially for Sean Payton, I think that means that the team could be good. I don't think he's a superstar. I just think he's a great game manager, and with the line that they have, you could really run any running back there and okay.
What's most important is Bo Nix, even Stidham, Ellinger, none of them are Russell Wilson. So that's the way the system works.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, see, Russell was going to play outside of that system. So you just need an obedient quarterback.
Sean, I see your system here worked. I know you won a Super Bowl with the Saints, but can you add some moon balls to that offense? Can we toss in there?
I think maybe because of the whole, teammates, classmates, whatever the hell, college mates.
Yeah.
You can look at that Troy Franklin, and
Troy Franklin, yes.
Maybe he ends up being your wide receiver one connection with Bo Nix.
That would be interesting. Now they like Marvin Mims as well. He came on towards the end of the last year for a little bit, but
Mims frightens me because of how often Sean Payton talks about him. So there you go.
Right. Then he's fifth on the depth chart. He put Harvey like fifth on the depth chart the other day. And that's when even the media were like, oh, "Come on, what are you doing here?" Nope. The way you got to earn your way. Like you already cut Eston. What are you talking about?
I could see fantasy owners out there getting frustrated because it's likely that Harvey doesn't start out lighting the world on fire.
Right.
It happens mid-season to late season, so people are probably, maybe by then he'll be dropped, traded, moved around. But like I think eventually, after Dobbins breaks his leg, which is inevitable, that's going to happen.
Have they scheduled out what week does he break his leg this year?
Yeah, they haven't decided yet because he's they don't want a repeat of one of the weeks he's did before. We saw he's already
got to do a new
one.
Season. Yeah, he's did week 1, week 2. All right, well, let's take a look at this schedule here. Then in that case, here, let me hold on. There we go. That's not too bad. All right. I can make it. I can make the sizes better here. Is that too?
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
All right, and that'll be fine.
So it's not an incredible. I mean, Ravens to start off with is not great. But then things don't look too horrible there. Then do they? Yeah. Oh,
this is the Bills schedule. Hold on for a second. I was just gonna say they're not playing the Bills. They don't play the Ravens, do they? Sorry. There we go. Here we are. Here's Denver. Now we're talking. They play the Titans. No, because the week 1 they play at home versus the Titans. And obviously Denver's dominant at home. They are, and you have rookie quarterback Cam Ward. This is the number 1 survivor pick coming into week 1. Everyone thinks Denver's going to blow them out, which is obviously possible. So that's it. I'm going to give you this W no matter what. So I'm just looking at the search here. 9.5 win total. They're 3-1 to win the West, 13-1 to win the AFC, 25-1 to win the Super Bowl. You start off pretty easy. So then you have the Colts in Indianapolis.
Who's playing quarterback there?
Exactly. They haven't decided yet between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, but Steichen keeps saying a decision is coming. Trust me, it is coming this week. So don't worry about it. We're checking in to see if pass is an option. Can we just pass on not having a quarterback? Apparently that's important in football, though. You do need a quarterback.
They're holding out. They have no idea that Aaron Rodgers signed with the Steelers. They think that.
So that's 2-0. Then you go to Harbaugh here. Do you come to all these times are Mountain Time Zone, though. I did this for our Denver fans out there.
205 weird 205 starts.
Yeah, your 205 starts. How is that? I bet they used to tell you what the Mountain Time was like for shows. Now they don't even acknowledge it as a real thing anymore.
People don't live there.
No, right? Like Eastern, Central, West, Mountain. Figure it out. I don't know. We don't know what to tell you.
Now I guess this is going to be a good game because I'm being told that the Chargers are good.
Yep, exactly. You're being told here, living in Los Angeles. Will you be going to this game at SoFi?
That would be a great thing. I don't know. Maybe that is something I could look into. I think the last time I saw the Broncos was with you.
Yeah, we went together. Yeah, that was great. Harbaugh versus Payton. Those are two.
Who's a good guy? Who's a good?
Who's a good enough lying guy? They're both great liars. They lie with a smile. They're just hilarious.
Yeah, I guess I didn't see much of the Chargers being good before, but like I said, I'm being told that they are. So this is going to be a good game.
A fun thing that Harbaugh said recently, Najee Harris hasn't been on the field since he had a firework accident and blew his eye off or something. They've been so he's had his eye patch covered, but he said he's fine and he's developed like this eco awareness, like he's a dolphin.
His hearing is so much better now.
Yeah.
Smell things better. It's amazing.
He doesn't communicate with words anymore. He just makes these sounds.
Everything is improved except his running.
So that would be a tough one. Between Chargers and Bengals, I think you go 1-1. You have a Monday night game at home versus the Bengals.
I think the league wants a rematch of that amazing Bengals Broncos game from last Monday night or Saturday, whatever it was, a late game.
Saturday, yes.
Yeah.
That was a great game. One the Bengals needed, and the Broncos, I don't know if they did need it, then they didn't want it, then I don't know. They were doing weird things.
They had to win one of their last 4 to make it in, and they won the very last game.
Right. So I'll get you a 3-1 there. Then you have the Eagles in Philly. That's a tough game.
I don't like that.
That's a tough one there. But then you go to London. Oh, when was the last time Denver's been to London? Now that game you definitely are going to, right?
Oh yeah, I don't miss Justin Fields.
Justin Fields in London.
Game run. It's a nice 3-game run there of Jets, Giants, Cowboys. Look at that.
Nothing like that's the perks of the NFC East. Then you toss the Jets in there. Yeah, the schedule is it's a little it's mixed. It's a mixed bag there. So yeah, you can go 3-1 there. Although coming back from London, no bye. I guess you have a choice of doing that. I can see Sean Payton's like, who are we playing? No, we don't need a bye. We got the Giants. That's
not
fine.
Not only that, but if you're looking at it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so like 6 games. So by the 7th game, it's entirely plausible that the Giants are starting Jackson Dart there. 7 games into the season, we might not be seeing a Russell Wilson-led Giants team here.
Oh, you're right. That's supposed to be the big Russell Wilson revenge game,
right?
But apparently, yeah. I mean, it looks like they're almost like, do we really have to put Russell Wilson out there week 1? Do you guys really need to see this? Like, we all want Dart to be in there, right?
Yeah.
Anything but Jameis Winston. I like how Jameis Winston's just a backup no matter what. Like, he's better. Like, nope, I'm just a number 2. That's it. I don't care. 3, you can leap over me. 4, whatever. But I will back you up and do funny quotes on the sideline.
That's right. And he's going to throw touchdowns. Both sides. To both sides.
Yeah, everybody eats. Sure. He's an equal opportunity quarterback. What do you think Russell's if Russell is starting, what do you think his reaction would be into the Denver crowd with Barrelman and the boys?
You know, Russell, he is pure class. He is going to thank the crowd. He's going to thank them for their time and their appreciation. He will not apologize for not using timeouts. I know that. But yeah, he is. He's a full class guy. He'll pretend he doesn't hear any boos and just say, "Thank you, Denver, for everything you've done."
Yeah, just Mr. Unlimited, just doing his thing.
Let's ride.
So he'll beat Bronco Nation. Let's ride. So we'll beat the Jets and Giants, and then Cowboys at home as well. So that's 3 in a row. London, I guess, counts as a home game. Congratulations. And then Cowboys at Denver. That's an interesting game.
Because I don't know. I don't really understand who the Cowboys are. I don't know what's going to happen there. That's a weird team.
Yeah, they're a show. I like how Jerry Jones just said it the other day. Like, yeah, no, I do not care about the product of football at all. I just care about if we're in the news. I want us to be a show.
It's like, well, we know that. We've
right.
It's obvious. That's a wild card game there. That Cowboys game. I don't know who comes out of that one. You don't know what kind of Cowboys team you're going to see, but I guess they're going to stick with your Texas teams there. Then you get the really weird Houston Texans, another weird kind of team.
Very odd. They had a horrible offensive line last year, so what they do in the offseason, they traded away their best offensive lineman.
Well, they changed.
Yeah, they changed. So that's a tough game. That's a regular Sunday game. And then you have, so that might be a loss. I'll put you at 6-3 there. Raiders on a Thursday night at home.
Geno comes to town.
Geno, that's every team like the Geno plays. Like, did he play for them before? Is there a revenge game for him? He had to have had a stint in Denver before, right?
It feels like it. It does feel like he did. I think. Yeah. They're all revenge games for Geno Smith.
Yeah, was that a Madden game I played with Geno on there in career mode? So then you have a long, nice extended game before you have to play the Chiefs.
Yeah. At
Denver, so that's good. 10 days off. That's a big game, obviously. Payton's not afraid of them. Kansas City, they'll be better this year, obviously, after being embarrassed in the Super Bowl. And Kelsey in the podcast, though, I don't know. He looked like a drained man in that Taylor Swift podcast the other day.
Yeah,
like,
it's hard to argue that the Chiefs' arrow is up.
Right.
With what I don't know if Rice is going to play football this year.
Oh, that's a good point. That might be suspended.
Yeah. Kelsey is old and whipped.
Mm-hmm. Kelsey's podcast is almost like him just saying, like, you see why I was so bad in the Super Bowl. You see what I have to, I'm just trying to keep up with. I mean, come on. So I like it. I like the Broncos winning that game. I'll have you 2-1 there, so that makes you 8-3. Yeah, 8-3. Then you have a bye week. I like a week 12 bye. Then at the command.
Now you got your real rookie of the year here. There we back.
Hold on. Whoop. Oh. Sorry. Let me do. There we are. Yeah. All right. Now we're back. Always a bad internet connection there. What were we talking about there that we got booted off? Who was listening?
We were talking about Jaden Daniels.
Oh, you know what it was? It was the Taylor Swift talk.
Oh,
that's what it was. As soon as I brought you take any kind of even parting shots at Tay-Tay, and her Swiftadoos are they're everywhere. They will knock you offline. Their power is, I mean, it's insane. That's what it was. So yeah, we'll skip right to Jaden Daniels. Now you have daughters, Eric. Are they Swifties?
Yeah, I'd say that they are. Yeah.
You have to be. It's inevitable, right?
Yeah. Although the kind of Swifties, we still don't know who the hell Travis Kelce is.
Yeah. Eric Turman on the chat says, thanks for Tunsil Texans. Speaking of the CCFL, the CCFL is coming in live in the chat. Chase Bentley likes to tell me when my sound is off. Blue Steel is here. Sorry I'm late. No problem, Kyle. As long as you apologize in the chat room, that's all that matters. That's all we care about.
We'll just start it.
So yeah, Jaden Daniels, let's get to that. November 30th, Sunday night game. That'll be a tough game there, but that is definitely
that's gonna be tough. Although another team with questions. If McLaurin's not gonna sign, who the hell is Jaden throwing that ball to?
Yeah, I know exactly. And is Deebo Samuel planning on playing wide receiver? He looked like a tackle, for crying out loud. They could use some O-line, and now they want to trade. All right. Let's see. Then we go to Vegas and Raiders. That's always fun. There's oh boy, what's going on here? Did this connection happen again to me? This is getting cease and desist is a great chat there by Chase. Cease and desist. There you are. You all right? We're back here.
I'm good.
What do we think the game at the Raiders? Have you ever went to an at the Raider game there before?
I'm trying. I think the streak ended right because the Broncos had some streak where they beat the Raiders how many times in a row. But didn't they lose last season to the Raiders one of the games? I think
they did. Was that the game they lost by that was a Charger game and they beat them by 60 or something. But that wouldn't be a bad game to go to in Vegas.
Well, that'd be a fun game. They were close to beating the Chiefs twice last year, but then they lose the Raiders streak. So right. I see two splits happening here: a split with the Chiefs, a split with the Raiders. What's that?
All right, yeah, I'll give Geno and Pete Carroll a split. Why not? But then you got a big game: Green Bay at Denver, Week 15. Jordan Love and Nicole. And now you got Denver home games. that's obviously when they crank it up. Jordan Love and Nicole, I think you bury them there.
They did last year. That was that. I think that started off a big run for the Broncos, is beating the Packers last year.
That's right. Jaguars are next. Now you're lucky you get them week 16 because by my calculations they will have the division wrapped up by week 13. So all the starters will be rested. They're going to roll through that division. I'm a big fan of Liam Cohen and
Duval.
Ever since that Duval press conference. In his defense, there's no good way to say Duval, but that was certainly not the way to do it.
I love this. Liam Cohen is the reason why everyone's talking about Tank Bigsby this year. Oh, Tank Bigsby, and the Jaguars are listening, which is why he's on the trade block now.
Here we go. Sorry. You know what it is? It's all these listeners, these new listeners coming in with once they heard Blood Fart was coming on here for the Denver Bronco analysis, and then they mentioned Taylor Swift, and they start crashing the servers.
Yeah, don't say that name. Don't say that name. It's not going to work out.
I know your old boss was Elon Musk, so maybe he still has a track on you. You worked with him for about a week, right?
It felt like a week. It was actually probably more just like hours, but yeah, it feel like a long time. Yes.
But that's hilarious. I'm sure he has your information for life, though. That's how that works.
Yeah, I'm sure whatever I signed or whatever I scanned, I'm sure that's forever. She'd probably be pretty entertaining on this podcast.
Yeah, he would be great. Anytime you get a autism druggie genius, I'll take him on as a guest.
Who is obsessed with having AI talk dirty to him.
That's hilarious. All right, then you finish up at Thursday. Oh, that's on Christmas, right? Kansas City, Christmas Day. How do you feel about that? How about you? There's nothing better when your team is on a holiday and you have to balance out the concern. Thanksgiving's one thing because it's known for football, but not Christmas. When you're tossing that in there, they're really asking a lot from us.
And it's one thing for it to be Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is a little bit all right,
Yeah, sure.
Christmas Day, I'm going to be at in-laws. I can't have eyes on a screen.
Right. And yeah, now you can't see my reactions when they throw an interception or something like that. Like, is that a sign? Was that what happens at home?
God damn it.
Christmas
Day.
God damn son of a bitch.
I'm a soundboard guy, by the way. That's what I do. So that'll be a tough game, but it's a revenge game. I think they might win that game. Oh, they're obviously not going to sweep the Chiefs, but
yeah, I think it's a split. So you'd give them one.
We'll give them Christmas. I think so. I can't believe what's going on with this connection here. And then you wrap up with the Chargers at home. Let me go into the chat real quick. We are back. Cease and desist. All right, we are back there. Right? Yeah, we're all back. The connection is rolling through. Sorry, this connection is getting. I swear to God, it must have been a Taylor Swift thing. Sorry. All right. These Swifties are definitely coming after us. Elon's coming after us.
We keep asking for it. We're just asking for
At this point, it's on us. So I don't know why we keep trying to go. So I have them over 9.5 wins easily. I haven't had at least 11 wins with the schedule here. I like this Bronco team. I mean, just because that defense and offensive line is so consistent. The only question marks are some of these skilled players that we haven't seen before, but like RJ Harvey and those guys. But
RJ Harvey and Pat Bryan, the wide receiver.
Yes.
I mean, on paper, they look like a good team. It looks like the team that will finally challenge the Chiefs in the division.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to really see this team winning 11, 12 games. I feel like, one of these kind of teams is going to jump up and bite you one weekend, whether it's the Jets or, something's going to happen.
That's true. Anytime you go through the schedule like this, and it's so easy to go, win, loss, they're better. You never think about, then the NFL happened. Then you're like, that's right. We lose games like this. You're favored by 10, like the Jets in London. Of course they lose a shit game like that. But either way, I have a 10 wins, no problem. So I like the over 9.5. Is there anything else you like for Denver besides
I like to. I mean, I'd like to see a playoff win. Would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, last year was fun. They had that opening drive, and then they just kind of pieced out. They're like, "That's what we got for you, everybody. Hope you like opening drive."
That was a great opening drive, but like I said, they were ahead of schedule last year, so I'm excited for these Broncos.
Yeah, they look good. They certainly are going to be more exciting than they've been in a very long time. And I think that, I think this is probably the first year in a long time that the Chiefs are going to really be challenged in the division.
Amazing. Yeah. And with that defense, I said Drake Green. Well, their defense was so good last year, and they added more, which is pretty crazy.
Those Niners guys, and then Surtain and Nick Bonino
Jonathan. And they drafted that dude Barron from Texas. He's pretty great.
Jahdae Barron. Although he hasn't looked great, but whatever. He's what are you going to do? It's training camp. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Treat it like the Chicago Bears training camp every day. Either they won the Super Bowl or the worst team in the world with every single training camp. So
amazing, and that's why we have Roma Cigaretta keeping Caleb Williams, a second-round pick. All right, Eric, any shout-outs? What are you working on right now?
Right now, if anyone out interested in listening to a Harry Potter style martial arts kind of leveling up story, I writing a show called Dragon Eye that you can listen to on Pocket FM. It's one of those things that you just can't stop listening to.
I mean, I was sold on all those words. I'm not sure what any of them mean together or individually, but individually, I like all those words. Throw them together, I'm in. Pocket FM, Dragon, Harry Potter, writing, everything. Yeah. Perfect.
Right. And in keeping with my orange love here, actually, I think in a matter of months, I'll be helping create a new season of the show called Rock, Paper, Scissors on Nickelodeon. Keep it orange.
Yeah, keep it orange is great. Let me put us together. I didn't even bring up John Elway killing that guy in a golf cart. God damn it. These interviews go by so fast.
Not guilty, CJ. Not guilty. I tell you, all they did was they just kept playing his helicopter spin against the Packers in the Super Bowl, and they said, no, that guy's not guilty. That guy's not guilty.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, he could on the wheel there. John, well, this one's for John. That's how he got his lunch orders too. Like they were ham and cheese. This one's for John, and they were all about to say.
These handcuffs are for John.
Oh, God bless him. God bless these Denver Broncos. Hey, someone has to beat these Chiefs. Why not Denver? So thank you, Eric. Thanks for joining us there, and good luck in the draft in Santa Clarita this Saturday night.
See you Saturday.
All right, I'll see you Saturday. There we go.
All right.
Eric Acosta, everyone. Pink. There we go. All right, you are listening. You are Acosta. We are listening to the Bottom Line Bombs. I'm your host, the man in the box, CJ Sullivan. We're talking about Buffalo Bills in a little bit here. Kyle Bolin says 11 wins easy for the Denver Broncos. I have a guest coming up for Buffalo, but first, I have to tell you about MyBookie, of course. How can I not tell you about MyBookie? How can I not tell you about MyBookie? Pretty easily, I guess. I'm supposed to have a new graphic for it. MyBookie. MyBookie. Where is it? Come on, CJ. Be better than this. Is this MyBookie? Yeah, here we go. We'll toss this out there. Amazing. Here we are. We're back. I'm your host. Thank you, everyone who's joining us in chat. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube. Maybe then I'll get a producer that can help me and get better connection. That's how that works. Get the algorithms going. Anyway, I don't have time to waste on telling me about show dates and handles to follow. Maybe I'll do that at the end. Maybe I'll do a man in the box segment. But for now, I got my man Kevin. Big Fun Kevin my Buffalo Bill Gambler Insider. Let me see if I can get him on the line. Here we go. And let's see. Let's bring him on here. There we are. That's what we wanted to do.
Can you hear?
Kevin, can you hear us, buddy? Yeah, I hear you. I got you now. Let me see if I can customize you. Let me bring you down a bit here. All right. There we are. That's a bit too much there. Man, I'm so fucking bad with this thing. All right. Whoops. Kevin, you with us there or what? I think he lost us. This connection's just fucking brutal. He's on the phone, of course. He's on the road. He's driving back from Rochester. This has always been a nightmare. All right, there he is. Kevin, I hear you.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I hear you now. Verizon Wireless. That's probably me. Probably you. How you doing? You're doing the drive. You're literally driving back from Rochester, New York, back to Las Vegas, where you live, where you're a professional gambler. You're a Bills sufferer. You're a full degenerate. That's why I love you. You're like, matter of fact, you called. You're like, hey, can you do this segment? You're like, well, I'm in New York because my mom died. I'm at my mom's funeral, but of course I can do it.
Yeah, of course, priorities. But yeah, you know, I need to learn how to fly because last week my mom passed away and I had to go back to the funeral. And I decided to do the drive, and boy, the luster of let's see the country, that wears off about a half an hour to an hour outside of Albuquerque. And then you're just like, and that's when you realize, shit, my flight would have landed a half an hour ago. And so you just pull it. There's a casino just about an hour west of Albuquerque. So you pull in there and dust off $500, and then you realize, you know what, maybe I just give up and go home. I don't need to go to this funeral. And then you remember that your mom told you. You know, the lawyers have been told if you don't come to my funeral, your inheritance goes to Catholic charities. So
no,
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
Now that would be a real tragedy.
Money, I'm going to be damned if my money's going to go to pay off molestation lawsuits. So you know, you just got to get back on the road and keep going. So yeah, but it's been a journey. I'm at about 4,200 miles driven so far, and still got about 1,000 to go. So it's no walk in the park. But you know what? We got the Bills to look forward to.
Yeah, you got the Bills to look forward to. That's why I appreciate you putting everything together. Bills become above everything. You're back there. You see the new stadium while you're back there, or the grounds?
I did. I drove right past it. It was a little bit out of my way to go over there, but it's literally right across the street from, I don't know what you want to call it this week, Highmark or Ralph Wilson Stadium or Rich Stadium. It was Rich Stadium the last time I was in it in 1991 for the 1990 AFC Championship game, where the Bills beat the Raiders 51-3. That's the last home game I was ever at. So I'm leaving. The Bo Jacksonless Raiders. Good memories. Yes, the Bo Jacksonless Raiders. And in fact, OJ was on the sidelines that day. And living in Vegas, I got to know OJ a little bit after he got released from his prison term. And he was telling me that he got in a lot of hot water that day because Bo Jackson's doctor was a doctor that OJ had worked with when he was a player. Mm-hmm. And the doctor told OJ, he said, even if Bo could play, even if the Raiders win this game, Bo won't play in the Super Bowl because his hip is really messed up. And OJ reported that on the sidelines. And all of a sudden he took a whole lot of heat over some HIPAA stuff and the fact that he was,
I mean, but OJ has journalistic integrity. Say what you want about OJ, but I mean, he does his job. He's going to report. He's got integrity. So yeah, he got in a bit of a hot water there, huh?
Yeah,
I remember another time when OJ
most hot water he ever got in, but some.
I was gonna say I recall another time OJ got in some hot water. It was a little heat on him, and that's of course is when he stole sports memorabilia in the Las Vegas hotel. His own sports memorabilia.
It was his own memorabilia though. That's the greatest part of that story.
Right.
He had a storage unit that had been defaulted on. It wasn't in his name. It was in a friend's name. I don't know why. But so these guys bought this storage unit at an auction, and then they reached out to OJ and said, "Hey, we have a bunch of your memorabilia if you'd like to buy it back." Now,
sure,
they didn't offer to sell it back to OJ at like kind of a reduced rate and cover their costs and make a little bit of money. They were like asking for full memorabilia retail on all this stuff. So OJ went to the police, and the police said, "OJ, they own the stuff. There's nothing we can do." And OJ told the police. He said, he's told me this story many times. He said, so I told the police. He said, "I'm going to set up my own sting operation," and the cops said, "Do what you got to do. We're not being involved." And then so they met him at the hotel, and everything would have been fine had they not brought weapons or stop those guys from being allowed to leave the hotel. That's when it becomes you really crossed the line.
They didn't kill him. That's where OJ messed up. You got to kill him, OJ. You did it the first time. Why wouldn't you do it the second time? Right.
Undefeated in the lawsuits for that. Yeah.
In their defense, I can see them asking for full price because who else is going to buy this OJ movie than OJ himself? And I tell you one thing. Now, that crime wasn't that bad, but he stood no chance in that second trial. The judge was like drinking a big gulp the entire time. She's like, fancy seeing you here. You're getting did you steal your own baseball cards? That's 9 years.
Yeah, they gave him the longest prison sentence anybody had ever received for that crime. They gave him a 33-year sentence, and then they let him out after 9. So, but he was, after when I met him, he was very entertaining, very, very cordial guy. But I don't know that I ever would have, had any chance to have met him had he never been in some of the legal heat that he'd been in. And
real quickly, so you hung out with OJ a lot in Vegas, and I remember you telling me that you're part of the not part of the entourage, but you'd see him a lot and hang out. How often do people would just yell murderer at him and things like that? And would he just go drag right through? I can imagine he's having to ignore that the entire time. Another time where someone got disconnected right when I was about to ask a question like that. It sounds like we lost him. I mean, I'm saying
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
Looks like we lost Kevin connection right when we're talking about some great OJ Simpson thing. We should probably move forward anyway. He'll get back to me, and we're going to talk about these Buffalo Bills who went 15-5 last year. They're on Hard Knocks this year, the dullest Hard Knocks I think of all time. They're 12-8 against spread. Sean McDermott, head coach, Joe Brady, offensive coordinator. Their win total's 11.5 games. They're plus 350 to win AFC. They are the favorite to win the Super Bowl, plus 650, along with Baltimore and Philadelphia right behind them. And then and they're a crazy minus 330 to win the AFC. Of course, they have Josh Allen, the MVP, who is the Lord goody two shoes. Is there a better human being than Josh Allen, at least according to that show? God, he's like signing he's signing special needs kids' foreheads. He's taking his hat off for the military. He's, kissing puppies and shaking babies or however it goes. Like, we get it. We get it. He's a good guy. They have James Cook, of course, Khalil Shakir, who's just got hurt. They just signed James Cook, who had 16 touchdowns last year, 1,009 yards. He had 2 the year before that, so I imagine some regression coming on there. Keon Coleman, Josh Palmer, Donkey Caden Knox. Their offensive line is a strength. Their starting O-line, there's a lot of injury luck, I would say. Their starting O-line only one lineman missed a game in 2 years total. How crazy is that? 2 years of football games, they've only had one starting offensive lineman miss a game. That's why I like Deion Dawkins, protector of the year, 20-1. Their defense, of course, was terrible. As we're trying to get Kevin back on the line, but I know. I'm the man in the box. I know how to keep this is why I don't have fucking guests on, to be honest with you. Anytime I do it, something haywire goes on. I mean, why is the connection bad today? I'm sorry, C-Generates. I didn't mean to yell at you. It's not your fault. It's on me. That being said, I should promote. I have a lot of guests coming up. If you checked out the Green Bay Packers show with Nate Craig, that was out there. That was a bonus episode that came out on Friday. I have Mike Burns coming up for the Detroit Lions. That's going to happen tomorrow or whenever this week. We're going to Las Vegas this week, of course. I'll have Steffi Smalls on. Talk some New York Giants. That'll be exciting. We have an interesting relationship. Me and Steph Smalls, a little give and take with the rivalries of trying to book each other's shows and do videos. It'll be great though. But I do have some as people in the chat room want to know. Question for Big.com. They want to know better Buffalo Wings 911 Tavern or Wingnut. Oh, I'll ask him. I will ask him that, Kyle Boland, as soon as I can get him back to connection. Like I said, the connections are absolutely awful. But anyway, back to my analysis of the Buffalo Bills. Their defense, of course, was the problem. We got Kevin coming back now, right? So we'll bring him in here. There we are. Kevin, we back there? Big fun Kev? Come on, buddy. I think I heard you there. Bills suffer. There we are. Kevin, we got you now. We got you back. What happened there? New Mexico casino run? We got oh boy, that is a horrible connection. This is I much preferred silence over this. What's going on here? You want to tell you what, Kev, I'm going to go ahead and call you offline. How about that? And you just answer it that way. I'm going to take you off right now. That was absolutely brutal. But what I will do is let's see if we can give Kevin a call. This is old radio right here where you would call someone. Let's have the ringtone go through. Look at that. See if he answers it this way.
Hello?
There we are. That's a much better connection.
All right. Much better feed. I apologize about that.
No, that's not your fault. That's us. You're on the road. Listen, you got a lot going on. You're driving cross country back to Las Vegas. You had your mom's funeral. Don't you apologize. But this is old school radio right here. So, all right. So here we go. By the way, we had a question from one of the listeners on the C-Generates. Better wings up there in Buffalo, 911 Tavern or Wingnuts?
You know what? This was the first trip I've had back to the Western New York area in 15 years.
Yeah.
So I'm out of touch with the local wing scenario. But yeah, so I mean, I hear great things about Wingnuts, though. I hear nothing but great things about that place.
All right.
But I'm not in the scene, so I don't know.
No problem. All right,
I'm not a traveler.
Let's get into these Buffalo Bills right now. We pass all that.
Let's do it.
Talk. Obviously, great year last year, 15-5. Terrible loss to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Don Kincaid with the drop, the tush push kind of controversy that happened. Josh Allen MVP. I think it was deserved. People like to say like they just gave it to him. He had 4,200 yards and 40 touchdowns, and no wide receiver had over 850 yards on that entire team.
Yeah, he was a beast. But I'll tell you what, the key to this year's season, is gonna be Mitch Trubisky.
Okay,
because
Mitchell,
if we see him, it's over. That's how this year's gonna go.
Yeah, he is definitely.
If he starts any games of meaning, then the Bills are done. And I don't hate Trubisky. As far as a backup goes, he plays the same game that Josh does. So, he doesn't mind getting out of the pocket. He doesn't mind taking a hit, but he does it all at about 50 to 60% ability that Josh has. Josh is just a different animal.
I do like when people say that. Like, yeah, if Josh Allen gets hurt, though, you guys are done. Yeah, no shit. That's every team. And when you have an MVP, if they go down, of course you're done. You're not going to replace Josh Allen, but. He is the MVP.
The thing about the NFL in general is that the parity is so close that really the only two spots that make a huge difference are your quarterback play and your coaching. Right. And those are, that's where you can have a huge margin or deficit compared to the rest of the league. And Josh is better than most quarterbacks. You got your elite 5 guys, and he's one of them. Him, Mahomes, those guys can win you games every week.
100%.
And if you don't have a quarterback like that, you're just an also-ran or garbage.
Right.
And then the coaching, I'm not a big McDermott guy. I think they win in spite of him sometimes, but and that's part of the big problem when it comes to Kansas City is, when you got a guy like McDermott who's average and maybe a little above average versus an Andy Reid who's literally an elite coach. He's always got something new up his sleeve. If he took parenting as seriously as he took coaching, his kids would be great, but I don't think he did. But that's where Buffalo has. I don't think that McDermott helps a lot, but Josh does.
Josh certainly does. The offense is. I was just saying the offense is intact. They were second in points a game last year, second in EPA. Joe Brady's, I think, is a great offensive coordinator. You added Josh Palmer. So it's whatever. But their O-line is a strength. They never get hurt. It seems like they just signed Cook. I like Ray Davis to be maybe lead a division in touchdowns, kind of a situation. Problem, of course, last year was the defense, mainly the secondary. They did draft. Who did Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky? He's 30-1 for rookie of the year. But they'll get Matt Milano back if he's healthy. And they signed Joey Bosa to replace Von Miller. They're good against the run, but mainly because the Bills were up so much, everyone had to throw on them.
Yeah, and they do have the guys stuffing it in up the middle. Oliver and Jones they're big boys. Mm-hmm. The defensive line is key, but they're very seasoned. They're very experienced, which I guess is NFL terms for saying they're old. Bosa's 30, Jones is 33. Mm-hmm. Russo has really come into his own in the last couple of years. As a first round pick, you kind of expected that anyway. The big question mark on defense will be that secondary. You got a young guy, you got Cole Bishop back there at free safety and Tyler Rapp at strong safety. And, Rapp has a Super Bowl ring. He picked one up with the Rams, and, he's a seasoned guy for 27 years old, but they're not, I don't think they're the best secondary out there. So that's where, you can get into some trouble when you're playing a Mahomes in a key situation or some of these other, big spots like that. The offense, I do like picking up Palmer. He's a guy that he peaked, it seems like 3 years ago in San Diego or the Chargers, whatever, and then his numbers have declined, but his yards per reception have gone up every year. And he's kind of a guy that maybe will be able to stretch the defense. Keon Coleman got better as the year went on last year as a rookie, which is what you would expect and what you're looking for out of a guy he's got amazing athletic ability. Cook, he's signed. He should be happy. Let's see if we can get some production out of him. We got a guy, 16 rushing touchdowns last year and a couple through the air. So, the offense, like you said, intact, didn't lose much. The line is still there. Like I said, they should have no problem scoring and outscoring their opponents. The schedule, they got Baltimore, a lot of big games and a lot of primetime games, but a lot of it's at home. You got Baltimore at home and then some cake cupcakes for 5 or 6 weeks.
It looks like they have the 5th easiest schedule, they say, by opponent, but only 4 opponents, like you said, are in the top 10, and they're all at home, so that's great. You know what I was looking at? Obviously, you have that opener Sunday night versus the Ravens at home. That's going to be a massive game, the Mark Andrews revenge game. But you get through that, the next 4, you're talking about Jets on the road, Saints, Patriots, Dolphins. I mean, for them to go 5-0 on DraftKings is plus 320. I think you're basically betting plus 320 that they're going to beat Baltimore because they're going to cruise through those next 4
Is there a number for 6 or 7-0? Because after those soup cans, they got the Falcons and the Panthers. So you. You still got some division games, and then you got at Houston. The Bengals are at home. The Eagles are at home. So, like all those big games at home, even if you split those, that's 2 losses. And then you got 2 more that you can lose along the way, and you're still at 13. So over 12.5, you can catch plus money. I don't see how you can't jump on that too.
I agree. Like you said, the 4 tough teams they have are all at home. And even if they lose, they can split any of those. You lose 3 of them. Who cares? You're still winning 13 games. So I like that a lot. They're, I don't know if they're ready. What do you think? Are they ready to go to the Super Bowl? They're the chalk now at plus 650 along with Baltimore.
You know what?
It's crazy.
I mean, I like I said, the last home game I was at was their first AFC championship.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like that Mahomes hump is like the new Super Bowl for Buffalo people. It's just, like I was telling a guy, I didn't see any of last night's game. I was on the road, but it didn't sound like I missed a whole lot. But, I like to refer to the Bears. I call the Bears the Kings of August. They're a team that they love to get those old school Bear fans fired up about what's coming this season. And then, but the reality is that's preseason football. Nobody else gives a shit except maybe them. And so now then they get into September and regular season games, and they're just, they just turn into the Bears of the last 20 years. So, but they seem. I call the Bills the kings of early January. Mm-hmm. If they could just get through mid and late January, they'd be great. And I think that if they could beat the Chiefs, they could win a Super Bowl. I don't think anybody in the NFC is better than what they've been dealing with the Chiefs. And I mean, it's the Chiefs are good. They're great. They've won, 3 Super Bowls and played in 5 in the last 6 years. That's pretty impressive.
Well, the Eagles had a decent game against them, if I recall, in February.
Oh yeah, that was impressive too.
But I will say this: the Buffalo has the best path to get the 1 seed. I think that's very important. Obviously,
I think probably Houston is your best team in the South. But the South, that's like being the smartest kid on the short bus. Then the NFC, you're going to have the Eagles are still going to be really good. The NFC North is going to be really competitive this year. I don't know what to expect out of it. I know they got the male cheerleader in Minnesota now. That's exciting.
I know people are up in arms about that male cheerleader. Like they've never seen a male cheerleader before. Why are they going so crazy?
You know,
over
I
this?
don't understand the premise behind it, but I also don't understand what Goodell is trying to prove with this either. You know,
George Bush was a male cheerleader. They liked him. What the hell's going on out here?
And he was as conservative as they came. You know?
I'd say so.
But I do think that if there's a dark horse out of the NFC, and you're going to hate to hear this, but you know what? You can get the Cowboys at 50-1 to win the Super Bowl right now. I'm glad I'm glad you said that because I was looking for a chance to hang up on you and end this segment, and there you are. You brought up you're giving out the Dallas Cowboys. Congratulations. That's how you get banned. Not a fan, but when it comes to money and gambling and not being biased in any way, that's a team that at 50-1, I wouldn't mind throwing a few bucks on that. I mean, Jerry is, I think he's turning about 173 this year. And he's going to want another title before they.
I don't think he does want.
I don't know if they're going to bury him.
I don't think he wants another title. He keeps saying like, I don't care as long as we're a show and they're talking about us and they make a Netflix series about it. He wins by being the most valuable. He doesn't give a shit about winning anymore.
But at 50-1, I'll take a shot.
All right, I'll take that bet because they will never win. I don't see how they even win a game this year. But anyway. Good luck to your Buffalo Bills. Thank you for calling in, Kevin, from the road and everything you're going through. Amazing effort by you. I appreciate it. What are you going through the glove box right now there?
What? Oh, that's rain.
Oh, wow. Where are you currently? What state are you in?
I'm right outside of Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, nice. Springfield, Missouri.
About halfway there.
Yeah,
but it's been a journey.
I've been to Springfield many a time.
But you know what?
It's awful. It's awful. Keep driving through it.
Yeah, another 24 hours, and I'll be back in that New Mexico casino supporting the Native Americans. So
I love it. All right, Kev. Thanks for pushing.
Doing my part.
Yep. Anything you want to plug, by the way?
Oh no, perfect. I got nothing.
All right, I'll see you in Vegas in a little bit.
Later, buddy.
Right. There it was. Big fun, Kevin. Let me get him off the screen. Man, we are having tough connections here, but we are welcome to the box. Thank you for everyone who stuck with me through these tough times, through these tough connections. I am the man in the box. The show's gone long. We got through it. That was Buffalo. That was Denver. Thank you, Eric Acosta. Thank you, Big Fun Kevin, for giving us the analysis in Buffalo. One play I didn't want to give out was Ray Davis to lead the league in touchdowns, 200-1. Why? And we like the over Denver 9.5, over Buffalo 11.5. Obviously, not too many other props I like under that. Both of those. Anyway, all right, yeah, we are in the box. I did mention that male cheerleader thing. Since we are on the box, sounds ridiculous? The Vikings are doing a male cheerleader, which okay, whatever. And then the conservative Twitter are all going crazy for. They just want to go crazy over anything. It's not like, okay. As much as I don't agree, the whole blowback for the whatever Miller Lite trans commercial, whatever that was. Okay, I can see why crazy conservative parents are upset about it. But male cheerleaders has been a thing forever. Like I said, George W. Bush was a male cheerleader. Oh, look at this! What is this? Okay, it's fun. The guy's having fun out there. And you ever see that? You see that guy with the Vikings? He's dancing. He's sassing it up. He's having a blast. Let him be. Let him toss some goddamn twirls around or whatever. And he's not like one of those like throwing a girl up to be a pyramid. He's doing the sass, if you will. I don't know. It's just hilarious. People, I mean, now they're realizing. I think they're actually having blowback with it. Like even the conservative, like the crazy rights. It's like, okay, maybe we're pushing this one a little too far. All right, let's go back to the end racism thing when they put in the end zones. Let's get mad about that. Why not? Let's get mad at words.
That's not the answer.
Anyway, let me get out of the box. This has been a long show. The connections were tough. Oh, I got so many more previews to go. Like I said, I got a Mike Burns Detroit Lions show coming up here. We're going to sneak that in. We got Bengals and Steelers coming up on Wednesday. We got Brian McGannon, Ken Barnard with Steelers and Browns analysis. Then we go to Vegas. Did I not bring up the Circa Million Circus Survivor and Underdog? I forgot. Did I not talk about that? I could have sworn I did. Maybe I didn't. I was supposed to do it afterwards. Let me talk about it. We're going to Vegas this weekend for sign-up weekend. Come hang out. Circa Contest weekend, August 21st, 23rd. You get SGP15. You get a promo code. Also got Underdog. I do have a thing for Underdog. I should put that up there. Man, I have been absolutely fucked. God forbid I get a goddamn producer that can help me out. But let me tell you about Underdog real quick. Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes. $2 million in first place, no waiver wire. Great place to play Pick'em. It's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with my code BOMBS. So use my code BOMBS at Underdog. Play just $5 and you get $50 in bonus funds. All right, we are back now. Now we are back. Just time for me to wrap it up as this show is going late. Yeah, we had some technical problems, of course, but talked a little OJ Simpson.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
All right, so I'll be back with a new show. Detroit Lions, Mike Burns, Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers with Kenny Barnard, Brian McGannon, more Man in the Box segments. I'll talk about, I'll defend Monica McNutt. Everyone's going after her and dragging her. Talk about sandwiches. I'll talk about everything. And of course, we'll be in Vegas. Make sure you come out to Vegas. We'll be out there for sign-up weekend this weekend, NFL Week 1. Then I'll be at the Ontario Improv the weekend of September 13th. Catch me out there. Follow me on Instagram at CJ Sullivan was taken, _ in between each words, or on X at CJ Sullivan _ You know how these things work on the TikTok. I just put out another video today. Feach, appreciate it. He said the slides worked, but the audio cut off during the ad reads. Well, what else can I ask for? You one or the other. Now the audio has been choppy, but that's what happens. I'm by myself. I'm the man in the box. I don't have a satellite producer like Sean and Ryan does in some other town, taking care of all these things, these highfalutins. I got to grind. They always talk about corporate gambling. They're corporate gambling, according to me. I'm the indie podcaster right here. Show live expert run guy. What? I don't know what I'm saying.
This is Scumbagger Vance, and that's in the cup.
I'm dying up here like Lou.
And people that are productive.
All right, Lou Holtz, take us away. Degenerates, thank you for enduring the show, the tech issues. We'll be back probably maybe on Wednesday, the secret shows, Tuesdays. Stay tuned, stay subscribed, because I'm putting out shows on a daily basis now with all these new guests that I obviously can't handle. Lou, get me out of here. Get in your cars and go home.
I'm Lou Holtz, and you're listening to the Man and the Box and the Bottom Line Bombast. Good luck to you.